yard, and she's due in court on May 4th. Spears has been in trouble with police before. In 2007, she was charged and went to jail for alleged hit and run with a parked car in L.A. Later, charges were dropped, and she was acquitted of one remaining count. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Watching Utah's money, Trader Joe's is expanding its recent recall. The chain says the chicken fried rice, pork fried rice, ramen, and shumai dumplings may have glass shards in them. 36 million pounds of food has been affected so far. Drug maker Eli Lilly is on track to launch a weight loss pill in the next quarter. The brand already has $1.5 billion worth of inventory ready to ship. It just needs FDA approval. CNBC reports the company is also launching a program to help employers cover obesity drugs. More Americans are dipping into their 401k savings. 6% of workers withdrew money in 2025. That's up 4.8% in 2024. The Wall Street Journal reports it's the sixth year the rate has increased. Your money at this moment, the Dow has just plummeted 1,040 points today. That's a change of 2.14%. The S&P is down 82 points, and the NASDAQ is down 239 points. Denmark is debating whether top-level cooking counts as art. The Culture Ministry is exploring formal recognition for gastronomy. Some chefs say food can carry ideas, emotion, and social messages like modern performance art. They also say art status could unlock public funding and private grants.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370, or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Join KSL News Radio and the movie show this Friday from 10 to 1 at the Mountain America Expo Center for the home show. Tune in for a special movie show listener offer from Advanced Window Products and save on new windows.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
KSL News Time, 12:29. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s, brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
This is southbound I-15 going past downtown Salt Lake. The crash is just north of 1300 South or just south of 106 South. Traffic is backing up to the North Temple area. Also have a fresh crash. This is westbound I-80 over by the Great Saltaire. Elevate your dining at the roof, now serving lunch and dinner. Enjoy city views and cozy favorites like signature steak, pork, or salmon entrees. Visit theroofslc.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Calling for rain, snow showers today, high of 43. Overnight we'll go to 32 with a chance for snow showers that could linger into Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, clearing out of here with a high of 45. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now it's 39 and mostly cloudy in Salt Lake City.
You're listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Peterson in for Maria Shilaos. KSL News Time is 12:30. KSL's top story this hour. Police say 3 women were killed at random in a shocking crime investigators say was all about stealing their vehicles. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera begins our team coverage. Eric?
Heather, police say the suspect is 22-year-old Ivan Miller of Blakesburg, Iowa. And investigators say the 3 women he's accused of killing were randomly targeted for their cars. One victim, a woman in her 80s, was found dead at her home in Lyman. Then investigators say Miller drove about 15 miles to a trailhead just off State Route 12 between Torrey and Teasdale, where 2 other women in their 30s and 40s were hiking. Teasdale resident Tina Peterson says in a small town, news like this hits close fast.
Growing up, every time you hear the ambulance, you stop to say a prayer because there's a good chance that it's not only a friend, but possibly a close family member. So when you start getting text messages from people like, oh, did you hear? Did you hear? And then it's like, you know that woman, you grew up with her, you worked with her at the store.
Authorities say they tracked Miller across state lines, and he was arrested early this morning near Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Live, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff has been in Wayne County and talking to some of the other people who live there.
We locked down, checked on family. We have family that lives in Loa also, and made sure they were okay.
Jan Ellett agrees with Tina. He thinks 95% of the people who live in Wayne County didn't sleep last night.
I've lived here all my life. It's devastating to this county, to these communities. I've never experienced that. We're all neighbors. That's the thing of it,
Everyone I have talked to today says they're stunned and that they don't remember anyone ever getting killed, let alone 3 people at once. In Loa, in Wayne County, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Wayne County schools are closed today. The school district made the announcement last night before the triple homicide suspect was arrested. The latest update we have is that classes are canceled today and schools are closed until Friday. Counselors will be available for students next week. Police say they used a Subaru's internal technology along with license plate readers to help track it to Colorado and find that suspect. KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce has more on how those license plate readers work.
Former Salt Lake City Police Chief Chris Burbank says license plate readers are now pretty widely used, with many police vehicles equipped with them.
It's a tool that more and more police agencies, in fact, I would say more have license plate readers than not now.
Basically, they rely on souped-up cameras to track a known license plate number. For example, if a car is stolen or another crime is committed.
It sounds like they knew the license plate number, knew the make and model of the vehicle, right, because it belonged to one of the victims. So they're looking very specifically for this car. And so in that particular circumstance, it absolutely works well.
Becky Bruce, KSL News Radio.
The Corey Richens trial continues today, her legal team trying to prove her innocence in the murder of her husband. Yesterday, her boyfriend took the stand. The relationship reportedly started while she was still married. Texts between the two were read, including one to him asking if her husband was out of the picture, would they get married? One said, if he could just go away and you could just be here, life would be so perfect. She also asked him about drugs and if he had ever killed someone. She's back in court today. One man is dead after an overnight house fire in West Jordan. The fire happened near 4000 West and Old Bingham Highway just before 1 a.m. West Jordan Fire Department Battalion Chief Travis Ball tells KSL they found the man right away, started treating him, and took him to the hospital where he died.
Combination effort between local agencies to get this fire under control quickly and to get that victim removed, like I said, and get him transported to the nearest hospital. It's not the outcome that we like to see, but we did our very best.
Ball says they'll continue the investigation today into what caused the fire. KSL's top national stories. A major shakeup in President Trump's cabinet. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem moved out of that role. The announcement made by the president on social media.
There have been recent incidents involving Kristi Noem that sparked concern among Trump administration officials and some Republicans on Capitol Hill, sources tell ABC News. Noem and her top advisor, Corey Lewandowski, recently made the decision to temporarily suspend TSA PreCheck amid the Department of Homeland Security shutdown. It was later reversed after the White House stepped in, according to sources. Noem faced criticism in recent weeks over her handling of ICE operations in Minneapolis after the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. She was removed from leading operations in Minnesota, and border czar Tom Homan was sent there to take over. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The president has been defending Nome in recent days, saying she's doing a great job.
This is now the first major firing that we have seen in the president's second term. To fire Kristi Noem, move her away from being the DHS secretary to this new post at the end of this month. Unlike in his first term, where there was quite a bit of turnover in the cabinet, she is now the first cabinet secretary to be let go by President Trump.
That's ABC's Mary Bruce. First Look Traffic, here's Michelle Rowe.
Looking better, Heather, for drivers making their way southbound I-15 going past downtown. The crash is still there, but the delays are improving. Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:35.
You may not think about Great Salt Lake, but it's affecting your life every day. It brings lake effect snow and epic powder days. It supports thousands of jobs that keep Utah thriving. It provides a haven for millions of birds. And it keeps our air cleaner and our summers cooler. It also could affect your home's value, your kids' asthma, your morning run, your powder days, your future. Without a healthy lake, we face toxic dust storms full of mercury and arsenic, along with higher health costs, fewer jobs, and lower home values. This isn't just an environmental issue, it's personal. The lake affects you. Now, it's your turn to affect the lake, because our lives depend on our lake. Act now at growgsl.org.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
A small Utah community shaken after the murder of 3 women in Wayne County. That suspect was tracked into Colorado with license plate readers. KSL News Time is 12:37. The bill that would have required Utah voters to show their ID when returning a mail-in ballot has been blocked. It was glazed over in a Senate committee yesterday after lawmakers suggested it wasn't ready for approval, and there's still some issues to work out. It's expected to make another appearance in future sessions, if not brought up again sometime in the next 2 days. A new task force aims to crack down on sexual misconduct by what are supposed to be trusted professionals. KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson has more.
That includes doctors, therapists, and other licensed professionals. Utah Department of Commerce Executive Director Margaret Woolley-Bussey says they want to put people on notice that they're going after this kind of behavior.
Folks that have been licensed at some point by our Division of Professional Licensing who are now being accused of sexual misconduct and in many cases even convicted of this. And this is extremely concerning for us because our job is to make sure that we're protecting the public.
And this will take on many facets, including possible new legislation and victim advocacy, but also providing better resources and training for their investigators. They also want to increase public awareness and train people to know what to look for or warning signs. Britt Johnson, KSL News Radio.
A bill aimed to help abused children has been stalled after it failed to pass in the House. Nicknamed Gavin Peterson's bill after the 12-year-old who was starved to death by his father and stepmother, it would have given social workers warrants to physically see a child in suspected abuse cases.
Right now, we don't have that tool in our toolbox. It makes it really hard when red flags are being so obvious that we cannot have eyes on a child.
Bill sponsor Senator Luz Escamilla says a bill like this could have saved Gavin's life. However, several lawmakers did not support the bill, citing parental rights and giving more power to the Department of Child and Family Services. Escamilla says she hopes the bill can be revived. Lawmakers have sent off a bill to the governor's desk that would close some tax loopholes on video streaming services and add a new tax on purchases made on adult websites. It's a 2% excise tax on content deemed to be harmful to minors. That money will actually go to a new fund designated to address mental health care for minors. It follows some other moves by the legislature to protect kids from adult content, including a law requiring age verification to use adult websites. KSL News Time, 12:40. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s, brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
We still have a crash that is southbound I-15 just north of 600 South. It is backing up to the I-80 interchange. It is off to the left, but traffic is getting around it much better now, just minor slowing through that area. The rest of I-15 in good shape. We do have a crash westbound I-80. This is at the Great Saltaire interchange. And then for drivers that are making the way through Sardine Canyon, they have had snowplows come through, so the road conditions have improved. Step into a world where music moves you. Experience the Utah Symphony Masterworks live at Abravanel Hall. From the romance of Rachmaninoff to the power of Carmina Burana. Tickets at utahsymphony.org. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, temperatures only topping in the low 40s today. Rain, snow, showers. We'll go to 32 overnight. Cold. Snow showers likely. Could see a little accumulation along the valley floor. Nothing special. By Friday afternoon, 45. Storm clearing out. We're warming to 49. Mostly sunny skies on your Saturday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, it's 43 degrees in Provo, 39 in Salt Lake City. Coming up on Midday, we'll talk to former FBI agent Greg Rogers about the investigation process when tragedies like the Wayne County murders happen. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Love, laughter, and a little magic. This March, Utah Opera invites you to the Elixir of Love, Donizetti's sparkling romantic comedy that's fun, flirty, and easy to fall for. A mysterious potion helps love to bloom in this sunny story set among the California orange groves, March 7th to 15th at the Janet Quinney Lawson Capitol Theater. Tickets start at just $26, and you may qualify for a discount. Pick your seats now at utahopera.org.
This is Jeff Stout with Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. Let's talk conventional versus FHA loans. Both offer cash-out refinances up to 80% loan-to-value or LTV, so which is best for you? It's kind of like Uber and Lyft. I always compare the two before booking a ride. Conventional loans don't have mortgage insurance under 80% LTV. However, the rates and costs get higher with lower credit scores, cash-out, and high LTVs. FHA loans always have mortgage insurance, but the rates are lower, they don't penalize you for cash out and high LTV loans, and they allow for higher debt-to-income ratios. FHA often results in lower payment even with mortgage insurance. We can analyze your situation within minutes. Call us today. Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple, 801-264-9494. That's 264-9494. Or on the web at finkmcgregor.com. NMLS 289115.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Thinking about retirement? Make sure a My Social Security account is a part of your plan. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can find out if you're eligible to receive benefits, compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates, view spousal benefit estimates, and more. Plan for your future. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
KSL News Time, 12:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
there's a solemn feeling in Wayne County today, and people are speaking in hushed tones and are expressing their disbelief at what happened yesterday. I'm KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff.
Second, Amazon is down. The website Down Detector shows a massive spike the last hour with at least 18,000 reports of the app not working. Third, traffic and weather together.
Still have a crash southbound I-15 right around 6 South off to the left. The delays are easing. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, temperatures running 20 cooler today with a chance for rain, snow showers. I'm Matt Johnson.
It's 39 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now KSL's top national stories.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is out as Homeland Security Secretary. President Trump announcing on social media he's reassigning Noem at the end of March and replacing her with GOP Senator Markwayne Mullin. It follows growing criticism over Noem's handling of DHS and immigration operations, including the agent-involved shooting deaths of 2 Minnesota residents, along with her appearance on Capitol Hill this week.
Sources say the president was upset over this exchange at a Senate hearing Tuesday, which had Kristi Noem telling Louisiana Republican John Kennedy that the president knew she'd be appearing in a $220 million DHS ad campaign.
To me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot.
Kennedy later told reporters the president told him he remembered things differently. And senior administration officials tell ABC News the president did not sign off on the ad campaign. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
At an event in Nashville, Noem says she and the president have a good relationship. This is ABC News.
Time for the KSL In-Depth. Investigators are working to figure out just what happened and why a man killed 3 women in southern Utah. Former FBI agent Greg Rogers joins me now live. How you doing, Greg?
Very good. How about yourself?
Good. Greg, so how does an investigation of this magnitude go down? I mean, where do police even start?
Well, there's a whole lot to do with this case. It is there's going to be a perception that this young man is a serial killer. It's not uncommon, like Israel Keys. It's not uncommon for serial killers to travel. It makes them more difficult to catch if they're going to places where they're not known. But there's a lot that has to be determined in this case. For instance, it hasn't been released what types of weapons he used in these homicides, but he was caught with a knife and a handgun, so comparisons will be made between those weapons and whatever injuries there were to the victims. Also, one thing that's very interesting to me is if he stole one of the victims' cars, which he did, that's what he was captured in after driving that to Colorado, how did he get to Utah? So we've got to make some determinations about how he was traveling in the first place. There's a whole lot of work that needs to be done on this case quickly. And, of course, we got to determine whether he was acting alone.
Yeah, I anticipate they're going to be looking a lot into his background that we don't really know a lot about yet.
Right. No, of course. And that's they're also going to be trying to determine what his route of travel was, and we've got to make sure that there weren't, there other homicides while he was on the road. There's no telling how long he's been on the road from Iowa. If he drove straight to Utah or if he took a circuitous route and went to other states. So they're going to be doing a whole lot of work to determine what that route of travel was and to determine if there's any other homicides in those areas.
When something like this happens, what's the manhunt radius typically look like for an investigation like this?
Oh, it's massive. Hopefully he has had a cell phone with him, and that will assist greatly in being able to determine his route of travel. All of his associates, friends, and family are going to be getting interviewed to see if they knew where he was traveling, if he had any contact with them. There's going to be a whole lot of effort put into this case right now, and hopefully Wayne County asks for the FBI's assistance, because we would happily jump into that and help with, because this is going to be a big multi-state investigation.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you so much for joining me. That was former FBI agent Greg Rogers talking about the triple homicide in Wayne County. KSL News Time, 12:49. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s, brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Michelle Rowe.
The crash southbound I-15 right about 6 South is still there, but it is not causing any delays. It's on the left shoulder as you're coming around the curve. Now, if you're driving on I-15 through the Wasatch Front, you're seeing good speeds right now. We do have a crash. This is westbound I-80 at the Great Saltaire Junction. And then again, just a heads up, winter conditions in some spots up the canyons, and you will need traction control devices for Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. You got 43 for a daytime high today. Chance for rain, snow showers. Tomorrow, AM snow shower, then clearing, 45. Back up to 49 on Saturday, mostly sunny skies. The warming trend continues Sunday. High of 57, mostly sunny. Then we're up to 65. Wow. On Monday, mostly sunny. We'll then go mid-50s with partly cloudy skies, Tuesday and Wednesday both.
Right now, it's 27 degrees in Park City and 39 degrees in Salt Lake City. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new, it's inherited. A ring from a grandmother, a necklace tucked away in a drawer, pieces full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jeweler specializes in reimagining family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Duke's on-site jewelers and designers work with you one-on-one to honor the original story while creating something fresh, modern, and uniquely yours. From resetting diamonds into new engagement rings to transforming multiple heirloom pieces into one stunning design. Every project is crafted with care, precision, and intention. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers on Main Street in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com. Duke's Jewelers, where old stories become new treasures. dukesjewelers.com.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy Febreze. La, 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 la.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
An emergency can happen any second. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. When you need medical care fast, the closest emergency room is a smart thing to know. Common Spirit Health ERs are your direct path between feeling scared or uncomfortable and feeling better. Find emergency care in your neighborhood at mountain.commonspirit.org.
College football fans are mourning the death of legendary coach Lou Holtz.
Over a career that spanned nearly 5 decades, Holtz built a reputation for turning struggling programs into winners, most notably at Notre Dame.
Number 1 in the 1988 collegiate football season.
He guided the Fighting Irish to an undefeated season and national championship, acting not only as a coach, but a mentor who sought to bring out the best in his players.
To watch them grow and develop and teach them how to make good choices. See, I never really felt I coached football. I felt I coached life.
To emphasize the importance of working as a team, Holtz had the last names taken off player jerseys.
ABC's Sophie Flay says Holtz is survived by his 4 children. His funeral is currently being planned and will take place at Notre Dame. Watching Utah's money, Disney is launching its new cruise line set for Asia. The Disney Adventure will start carrying passengers from and around Singapore. There's no port calls, just ocean time. Asia's been a huge part of the cruise boom. In 2024, 2.6 million passengers were from the region. That's a 13% increase from the previous year. Target's looking to keep things fresh and win back shoppers. CNBC reports the retailer will be making changes to its floor plan and merchandise, adding more fresh and trendy groceries, as well as a dedicated display for higher-end makeup and a larger array of sports merchandise. Your money at this moment, the Dow is down 1,096 points. The S&P is down 90, and the NASDAQ is down 266 points. Archaeologists have found a prehistoric human skeleton deep inside a flooded cave system on Mexico's Caribbean coast. Cave diving archaeologist Octavio Del Rio tells the Associated Press the body sits far from the entrance, about 26 feet down. That suggests the cave was dry when someone placed it there, possibly as part of a burial ritual at least 8,000 years ago. He says sediment around the bones hint at an international burial.
Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
Did you know 96% of Americans lose an average of $111,000 in Social Security income? And it's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. Don't lose $111,000 in Social Security income that's rightfully yours. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits on Retirement Solutions Radio this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, right here on KSL. News Radio 102.7.
Ready for your next vehicle? At Performance Automotive in Bountiful, your new Ford, Toyota, or Honda is here. Built for Utah communities, canyon weekends, and everything in between. Choose capability with Ford, long-lasting reliability with Toyota, or smooth efficiency with Honda. Backed by friendly experts and financing options that fit your budget. Visit Performance Ford, Performance Toyota, and Performance Honda for your test drive. Browse inventory, check pricing, and schedule your visit at performancebountiful.com. Performance Automotive in Bountiful. Driven to be the best. Sign up for KSL text alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
KSL News Time, 12:59. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. Brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
The crash southbound I-15 around 600 South is still there, but the delays are gone, so traffic is moving smoothly. The crash is still on the left shoulder. Now for drivers making their way up Parley's Canyon, we are seeing some wet road conditions in spots, so you'll want to use some caution. And then we do have traction control devices required for Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
A high of 43 today with scattered rain and snow showers. Tomorrow more mid-40s and snow likely. Then we start to get a little warmer. 49 on Saturday, 57 on Sunday, and 65 on Monday. Right now it's 39 degrees in Salt Lake City, 38 in Ogden, and 38 degrees in Tooele.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
A suspect taken into custody in Colorado, accused of killing 3 women in Wayne County. Folks living in rural communities in that part of Utah in both a state of shock and a state of mourning.
Living in a rural small town, people don't understand. We're just one big family. And it's, dynamics have changed forever.
The time is 1 o'clock on Thursday, March 5th. It's midday. I'm Heather Peterson, filling in for Maria Shilaos. Coming up, multiple murders in rural Utah. We have special coverage this half hour with the latest information on the crime and the suspect, and how locals are reacting to the devastating news that this kind of thing happened in their town. Also this hour,
you step up in order to protect people, and you do it in a way that other people often are never going to be required to.
Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem now out of the presidential cabinet. President Trump removing her from the post just a short time ago. Analysis on the decision coming up at 1:30. But first, our top stories. Police are releasing more information about the murders of 3 women in Wayne County, as well as the man accused of killing them. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
Investigators are accusing 22-year-old Ivan Miller of killing an elderly woman at a home in Lyman before driving her car to a trailhead near Torrey and killing 2 more women. Utah Highway Patrol says he then drove one of the other women's cars to a small town in southern Colorado, where he was taken into custody by local police early this morning. Police say Miller is from Iowa and has no known ties to the 3 women or the area, and they're still trying to figure out both the motive and what he was even doing in Utah in the first place.
Police say that they believe Miller was the lone suspect. They're currently working to extradite him to Utah. We'll have more on the case in just a few minutes. Our top national story from ABC News. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has been fired. President Trump made the announcement on Truth Social today and announced plans to replace her at the end of the month with Oklahoma Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin.
This is now the first major firing that we have seen in the president's second term. To fire Kristi Noem, move her away from being the DHS secretary to this new post at the end of this month. Unlike in his first term, where there was quite a bit of turnover in the cabinet, she is now the first cabinet secretary to be let go by President Trump.
ABC's Mary Bruce there. President Trump says Noem will be moving to a role as a special envoy for the Shield of the Americas, which he says is a new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere. Your money at this moment, the Dow is down 1,070 points. That's a change of 2.2%. The S&P is down 85 points, and the NASDAQ is down 245 points. Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU, up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
Overall traffic patterns are looking great. We still have the crash southbound I-15 right about 600 south. It's off to the left. At this point, not causing any delays, but also a heads up. If you're heading up into the higher elevations, expect traction control devices to be required in the Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons, and also some snowy conditions in spots. At UTA, it's never just a ride from point A to point B. They move independence, they move purpose, they move memories, they move what matters. You plan your trip at rideuta.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL weather, overcast and windy today with some scattered showers this afternoon. The precipitation will stick around and we might see some valley snow tomorrow morning. A high of 43 degrees today in Salt Lake City. Right now it is cloudy and 39 degrees from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now.
Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Business technology has changed a lot over the last 70 years, but one thing hasn't.
Les Olson is here.
As the years have passed, there's been one constant. And after 70 years and still counting, Les Olson IT is here with the technology and the people to make life easier, more productive, and more secure for your business. Let Les be here for you.
Kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials, giving you exceptional value without sacrificing quality. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides professional service, free design, and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. From bold kitchen designs to beautiful functional bathrooms, AMC delivers outstanding value with styles you'll love. And best of all, most projects can be completed within just 10 days. Come experience beauty you can see, quality you can feel, and service you can trust. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom at 3678 South 700 West today and schedule your free estimate. Visit amckitchenslc.org. That's amckitchenslc.org. Trying to make sense of the markets? Looking to diversify out of all the craziness? Thinking about tangible assets like precious metals? Listen to The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels right here on KSL at 3 p.m. Sunday afternoons. Stay up to date on retirement trends, how the IRA rollover process works, and why investors are turning to physical gold. Kenny is a national talk show host with decades of experience in the markets. Tune in for Kenny's Insights and The Gold Show this Sunday afternoon at 3.
Thanks for tuning in to Midday. I'm Heather Peterson. Maria has the day off. We begin this hour with continued developing news out of South Central Utah, where police say a young man from the Midwest murdered 3 women in 2 separate locations. The man accused of their murders found early this morning in nearby Colorado. Officials saying the suspect is 22-year-old Ivan Miller of Iowa. Multiple murders in rural Utah. We have special coverage on Midday. Joining me now live is KSL5 TV reporter Andrew Adams. He's on the scene there in Wayne County. And Andrew, what are we learning this hour about the crimes and the investigation?
Well, certainly a series of crimes that even police call scary. And certainly this is alarmed the community here in Wayne County. We spent some time in Lyman just over the last couple of hours talking to people, and certainly they're unnerved by this, that literally a stranger could come into their community and be accused of killing multiple people. And that's really the information that we have right now from investigators. Just going back a little bit to earlier this morning, and what they were telling us is that this Ivan Miller, 22 years old from Blakesburg, Iowa, had no connection whatsoever to the women that he's now accused of killing, or to the area. They're still trying to trace back exactly what brought him here, but it started, it sounds like, with him, according to law enforcement, stopping by a home in Lyman. We don't know the exact circumstances there, but killing an elderly woman there, according to investigators, taking her car over to a trailhead, which is closer to Torrey, and then allegedly killing 2 women there, taking their car, and then going on a trail that we now understand weaves somewhere through southern Utah to northern Arizona and over to Pagosa Springs in Colorado, which is where law enforcement finally caught up with him. They said that when they found him, he had a concealed gun and also a large knife.
So tell us more about how the investigation unfolded. When was this first reported, and then how did investigators come to track down the suspect?
Well, that happened around 4:30, they said, when they got that initial call, and really police got onto this case when they learned from a couple of husbands that their wives had been found dead on this trailhead. And again, that trailhead is closer to Torrey off of, I believe, SR 12. I hope I have that road correct. But they basically reported that their wives had gone out for a hike, and that they were basically missing, so they went out to look for them, and that they found them deceased near the trailhead there. And so that got investigators on that case, and when investigators got out to the scene, they found out that essentially there was another vehicle there that didn't really make sense there. They called it suspicious, and so they traced that back to an address in Lyman, and that's where they found the third victim at her property there, also deceased. And then so investigators figured out that, well, these two women, there's a vehicle missing there. And so they were able to start tracking that down. And how they're able to do that, as we understand, is through license plate readers and also through presumably onboard GPS location of the vehicle. And they were able to trace its movements through southern Utah, northern Arizona, and over to Pagosa Springs, Colorado. And that's where police from Pagosa Springs were able to first find the vehicle abandoned, and then after a short search, they were able to find the suspect and take him into custody, they said, without incident. And again, identified him as 22-year-old Ivan Miller of Blakesburg, Iowa.
And they don't really know much about his background or motive at this point?
They really don't, and so that's something that they're going to try and figure out. Obviously, it raises some questions that when somebody is able to come into a community like this, and he's now accused of 3 different killings and basically taking vehicles. Had he crossed some of these lines before? We really don't have those answers. But we did hear from police that, at least so far, that they don't have any indications of outstanding crimes in perhaps other states or something like that. But that's something that they've got to try to figure out here over the next few hours and days, is what brought this guy from Iowa to Utah, and what led up to this.
All right, thank you. That was KSL5 TV reporter Andrew Adams. Thanks so much for joining us. As you can imagine, these murders have left the small communities around Wayne County shaken and afraid. Overnight, they were told to shelter in place, stay in their homes, lock their doors, and keep the lights on. For anyone, that can be a scary thing, but for people in small towns, places where folks know everyone and keep their doors unlocked, it can be terrifying. Multiple murders in rural Utah. Our special coverage continues. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff is in Loa and has been speaking with locals to get their reaction to the events that have transpired over the last 24 hours. So, Don, what are people there saying?
Heather, just like Andrew was just saying, the people here are telling me they're just stunned. They have never heard of anyone being murdered or killed here, let alone 3 people at once. The people that I've spoken with say this is a community where everybody knows everybody. And so as soon as the call went out, people started calling friends, neighbors, children. One man said that, he was calling his daughter. She came over and spent the night at his house. One woman told me that her daughter was sleeping next to her with a hairbrush in her hand as a weapon just in case. People were locking their doors. They say they don't do this here.
Well, are people relieved now knowing that a suspect's been arrested, or is there still this sense of uneasiness?
I think the uneasiness about not having the man under, not having a suspect under arrest, I think that has gone away. But what has replaced it is that they just don't feel like anything's ever going to be the same. Jan says these small communities in Wayne County will never be the same.
So are they saying anything about the victims? I know the names are being withheld at this point, but there's often this everyone knows everyone feeling in small rural towns.
Yeah, in fact, Jan actually told me they know who one of the victims is. I'm not going to reveal that because, as we understand it, family is still being contacted, and we don't want them to find out over the radio about something that's happened. But yeah, everybody kind of knew who at least one of the victims were. Tina told me that she had a friend that has the same name, and so they immediately called her, said she's okay. Tina Peterson says, this kind of thing can wreck a small community.
It's just weird. Well, it's, a small town, and so, growing up, every time you hear the ambulance, you stop to say a prayer because there's a good chance that it's not only a friend, but possibly a close family member. So when you start getting text messages from people like, oh, did you hear? And then, we don't want to say any names because it's probably still anonymous, but you go past the house and you know who it is, and it's like, you know that woman, you grew up with her, you worked with her at the store through high school, and it's just like, holy cow. And then being a parent, you have 2 little girls at home and, keep the doors locked, and it's scary. And when, if you grew up in the city, you're used to that kind of thing, but down here, violence, that doesn't happen. And it's kind of a somber feeling. I'm also a high school teacher, and I was just talking to the principal, like, can we have practice? Like, how do we handle this? Are the kids okay? Can we contact our students? And anyway, it's a weird thing.
So,
I ask a lot of... Oh,
sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
Heather.
you go.
I was just going to say, I ask a lot of these people, if they had ever heard anything like this, and Jan Elliott said, absolutely not.
Never. I've lived here all my life. It's devastating to this county, to these communities. I've never experienced that. We're all neighbors. That's the thing of it, Margaret lived in Lyman, but we're all one. So
I'm sure it's a really hard day out there in Wayne County. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Heather. You have a good afternoon.
Thanks, you too. We're going to take a quick 60-second break. When we return, more special coverage of these murders and how authorities used license plate readers to track the suspect to Colorado. Stay with us.
The Salt Lake Chamber is Utah's voice for business. Okay, that sounds great, but what does it really mean? Well, as Utah's largest and longest-standing business association, they support and champion community prosperity throughout the state. And if you're in business, well, that's a very good thing for you. Be sure to listen to the Chamber's Speaking on Business, weekdays at 7:20, 11:55, and 5:20 p.m. on KSL News Radio.
The Utah Mammoth and Smiths are teaming up to get you to the game. With qualifying Smiths purchases, you can score single goal view tickets, hot dog and a bottle of water included for just $15. The catch? These tickets go fast. Download the Utah Mammoth app, enable push notifications, and be the first to know when new tickets are released. Shop at Smiths, then snag your seat for $15. Simple. Grab the Utah Mammoth app today and watch for the next release. Tusks up.
We do have breaking news here on Midday. We're learning more about the suspect arrested in connection to the murder of 3 women in Wayne County. 22-year-old Ivan Miller is from Iowa and was scheduled for an arraignment tomorrow for burglary, theft, and drug charges. According to court documents, Miller is accused of breaking into a campground cabin back in December. Local news stations in Iowa report he was released from jail on his promise to appear in court. Multiple murders in rural Utah. Our special coverage on Midday continues. Lieutenant Cameron Roden with the Utah Highway Patrol says right now they're working to establish the travel patterns of that man suspected of killing 3 women in Wayne County, 22-year-old Ivan Miller. Authorities say they believe Miller came into Lyman, stole a 2022 white Subaru, and then drove to Tisdale, where there are 2 other murdered women were found. From there, they say he drove south to Arizona, through New Mexico, and up into Colorado. He was apprehended early this morning in the small town of Pagosa Springs. That's east of Durango and just off the Southern Ute Reservation. But how exactly were they able to track Miller's supposed movement, especially in such a rural place? He explained how that process works on Inside Sources this morning.
So we were able to use some automated license plate readers that gave us some information, but then also some of the integrated tracking services in the vehicle. We were able to use both of those, and which ultimately helped us to eventually to where we could see where he was and help to coordinate law enforcement activities in Colorado so that they could get him into custody.
Just one follow-up question to that. If you're using license plate readers, I know it's a pretty rural area. Are they like all over that area? Are they just like the major parks? Or can you say?
They're spread around kind of all over, and the distance that he traveled from here in this area, actually he went down into northern Arizona, up actually over to New Mexico before going up, so he traveled quite a distance.
UHP's Lieutenant Cameron Roden there. Coming up in the next hour of Midday, we'll go in depth on how these license plate readers work and how authorities may have used them in this situation. We'll also chat a bit about the controversy that's often surrounded these kinds of tracking systems. That's coming up at 2 o'clock right here on Midday. After the break, we'll get some perspective and analysis on these crimes from our own Dave Cawley. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. Brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Michelle, what do you got for us?
If you're traveling up Little Cottonwood Canyon, you can expect snow conditions through the entire canyon. Traction control devices are required for Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon. Also looking at some snowfall coming down in Summit Park up in Parley's Canyon. I-15 running smoothly. Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
I'm Christian Staples with Arctic Spas. This weekend is the biggest home show of the year, and Arctic Spas will be there with our biggest demonstration of Arctic Spa hot tubs, swim spas, all-weather pools, cold tubs, and saunas. We'll be introducing our new Polar Bear, the biggest swim spa we have ever made. It comes in at 18 feet long, giving you more room for your family fun or swimming. If you're looking for something big, this is the big weekend to find it at the Mountain America Expo Center. With a new Arctic Spa, we are giving away 100% water care automation for free, saving you $4,000. You can get our automatic natural saltwater system and automatic pH control for free. Home shows are awesome to see lots of options all under one roof and to find the best deals for you, saving you time and money. Check out our home show specials and the new Polar Bear on our website at arcticspasutah.com or stop by one of our 3 stores covering all of Utah in Salt Lake, American Fork, and St. George. Arctic Spa, the only spa built for Utah's harsh climate.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet, and the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be 6 figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Heather Peterson in for Maria Shilaos. We continue to follow a triple murder in south central Utah down in Wayne County. After an overnight search, police in Colorado arrested a suspect in the case, a 22-year-old man from Iowa. It's left many in Wayne County with a lot of questions and uneasiness. Multiple murders in rural Utah. We continue our special coverage. I spoke with Dave Cawley, investigative reporter for KSL Podcast, who's been down in Wayne County as this story's been unfolding. He paints a picture for us about what it's been like.
The storm that was dumping rain in Salt Lake last night is starting to move through this area in southern Utah. It's not raining, but there are low-hanging clouds. There's a dusting of snow on the high mountains that I can see in front of me. And, you know, as I've been here through the dark this morning watching sunrise, it's been very somber. Obviously, overnight, as we were waiting for information about what was going on with this search, this manhunt, and investigation into this triple homicide here, it seemed like the whole town was pretty much holding its breath. Within, a number of hours this morning, as the sun came up, we received word that a suspect had been located and arrested, but not here in Wayne County, over in Colorado. And so I think that released some of the tension a little bit, but there are still a lot of questions.
I know you just mentioned the weather. Is that expected to complicate the investigation at all? I know that the two women were found on a hiking trail.
So the area, if I can kind of paint the picture for you where they were located, if you've ever been to Capitol Reef National Park, there's a gateway town just outside it called Torrey. If you go south of Torrey, there is a highway, Utah Highway 12, that's one of probably the prettiest roads in the state. It goes from Torrey down to Escalante. And so just a short ways out of Torrey, as you're climbing up into the hills along Boulder Mountain, that's where this trailhead is. I don't know that it's a formal trailhead, but it's kind of a dirt pullout where you could, park your car, get out and walk through some of the beautiful buff colored rocks down here. And the scene that I was watching this morning was just crowded with investigators, right? There were blacked out SUVs, there were, police cars, National Park Ranger going by. Obviously, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office calling in a lot of help to assist. And for me this morning, the bitter cold was hard just being out of my vehicle for a few minutes. I have to imagine it's been really hard on the officers, both at the home outside of Lyman, where one of the victims was found, and this trailhead about 10 miles away, closer to Torrey. So it's so far the weather is not impacting it as far as rain or precipitation, but I think those cold temperatures definitely are going to be an issue as they continue to work these investigation scenes throughout the day today.
So as our host of Cold Podcast, you're no stranger to some of these kind of grisly murders that we've had here in Utah. What about this case stands out to you? What's your take on it?
So, yes, I spend a lot of my time as an investigative journalist looking into cold cases. Normally, I'm looking at things that happened years ago, where we don't have answers about what happened. What struck me when this story first started to break last night was it was very strange. This community, Wayne County, is not a place where you see a lot of this kind of violent crime. And then to learn this morning that the suspect in this case, Mr. Ivan Miller from Iowa, has no known connections here really raises a lot more concern about, somebody just dropping in and allegedly killing 3 members of this community. It's very, very abnormal. And I think as we see this investigation move forward, that's going to be one of the biggest questions that we try to, get answers about is what led Mr. Miller to come to Utah, specifically to Wayne County, why these specific victims that he's alleged to have killed, and then where was he planning to go? We know that they tracked him using automated license plate readers and that kind of thing. This is new technology that, in my experience covering a lot of cold cases, those tools aren't available. So we're seeing how, advancements in technology make a quick apprehension in a case like this happen. Whereas, if this had happened maybe 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't have had those same tools at your disposal as a police officer.
Okay, great. Anything else you want to add before I let you go?
These small towns are gateways to one of Utah's 5 treasures, a national park, Capitol Reef National Park. It's a place that, I personally come and recreate. I hike, I visit these places, and I think there, might well be a chilling effect, especially for women hiking alone, because of this kind of violence. So I think it's important to highlight that this is incredibly rare. This type of violence against somebody who has no connection to the alleged suspect in a place where they're just out taking a walk in the desert. I can't think of a single incident quite like it in my memory. So we don't want to cause people to have a false sense of threat or panic, but it's maybe a good reminder that we should always be aware of our surroundings.
That was Dave Cawley, investigative reporter for KSL Podcasts. It's 1:30, midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Heather Peterson, in for Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we're watching this hour. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem dismissed from her position. What does that mean for the future of DHS? Another War Powers Act vote set to happen today, this time from the U.S. House. We'll have analysis. And KSL traffic.
Still working on this crash on I-80. This is westbound at the Great Saltaire exit. Heather?
And our top national stories.
Now President Trump says he must be involved in the appointment of the regime's next supreme leader. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
The president, in an interview with Axios and then repeated in another interview with Reuters, has said that he needs to be involved in the process, in the appointment of the next leader in Iran, similar to what happened in Venezuela, as he puts it. He says that the Ayatollah's son is a lightweight and unacceptable to him.
The State Department announcing it suspended all operations in the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait. This as many Americans in the region are still stranded trying to make their way back home. Crude oil prices are now above $80 a barrel. It's the first time since July 2024, amid those escalating attacks from Iran on oil tankers and facilities. Higher oil prices also affecting the broader stock market. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. We're learning more about the 3 women who were found dead in Wayne County, as well as the man accused of killing them. Police say the suspect is 22-year-old Ivan Miller from Iowa. Miller is accused of killing an elderly woman at a home in Lyman before driving her car to a trailhead near Torrey and killing 2 more women. Miller was located and arrested in a small town in southern Colorado early this morning, and police are still working to figure out the motive for the murders. The area where these women were killed is in the heart of Utah's Red Rock country. KSL podcast investigator Dave Cawley spent the morning at the crime scenes.
The home where the woman in her 80s was located is right on Utah Highway 24. I mean, literally this red brick ranch house with, a garage and a couple outbuildings that probably thousands of people a day cruise past. As you get closer to the national park on the east where the trailhead is, now you're up into, pinyon, pine, sagebrush country. The rock is a little more pale, and it's just a very placid, beautiful place.
Torrey is smack dab in the middle of Wayne County. There's only several hundred people that live there. Your money at this moment, the Dow is down 888 points, the S&P is down 57, and the NASDAQ is down 136 at this hour. Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gives you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
Still looking good out there, Heather, on I-15. Not really seeing anything to slow you down, no major crashes, but we do have winter conditions up Little Cottonwood Canyon especially. You will need traction control devices for Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. Still working on the crash. Westbound I-80 at Gray Saltaire. Bad weather and parking lots love GoPave Utah. GoPave Utah loves snow. Don't wait for bad weather. Schedule your snow removal with service with GoPave Utah. Visit GoPaveUtah.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Some scattered rain and snow showers this afternoon. The storm will stick around through tomorrow morning, giving our mountains some additional snow cover. And if we're lucky, it'll be cold enough for some valley snow, too. Right now, there is some light snow around the area and 39 degrees from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Ready for your next vehicle? At Performance Automotive in Bountiful, your new Ford, Toyota, or Honda is here. Built for Utah communities, canyon weekends, and everything in between. Choose capability with Ford, long-lasting reliability with Toyota, or smooth efficiency with Honda. Backed by friendly experts and financing options that fit your budget. Visit Performance Ford, Performance Toyota, and Performance Honda for your test drive. Browse inventory, check pricing, and schedule your visit at performancebountiful.com. Performance Automotive in Bountiful, driven to be the best.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. A My Social Security account allows you to access your earnings history and benefits information, request a replacement Social Security card, get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Heather Peterson, in for Maria Shilaos. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem is out. President Trump announcing that she will no longer oversee DHS, but will instead serve as a special envoy for a new security initiative called Shield of the Americas. Noem sharing reaction to the news just a short time ago in a post on X, thanking members of the administration for her new role. She says she'll be able to build on the partnerships and national security expertise that she's formed as secretary. She says that in her time as secretary, she delivered the most secure border in American history. Also today, Noem spoke in Nashville. Her address didn't acknowledge being fired or her new role, but she did talk about the challenges federal agents were facing and praised the work that they do.
America is the greatest country in the world, and it's the greatest country in the world that has great cities and great communities. Regardless of where people live, we need to make sure that they have an opportunity to go to work every day safely and to send their kids to school safely every day.
The president saying sitting senator from Oklahoma, Markwayne Mullin, will take over as head of Homeland Security. In a post on Truth Social, President Trump said Kristi Noem has served the U.S. well during her time over the department. But her departure comes at a rather interesting time, as DHS and immigrations have faced ongoing scrutiny. Joining me now live on Midday now is Dr. Holly Richardson, political insider and co-host of Inside Sources. Welcome to the show, Holly.
Thanks for having me, Heather.
All right. So what was your initial reaction to this news?
Well, in some ways, I wasn't surprised because there was really growing controversy and seeing even Republican supporters of Donald Trump saying, look, you either need to resign or be fired. So I think that was part of it. But on the other hand, unlike President Trump's first administration, he has really kept most of his people. Like, he's not churning through them at the rate he did the first go round.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit more. We saw a rotating cast of leaders in the cabinet last time, and things have been relatively calm this time around. Could this be a sign of future changes among the president's top people?
I mean, potentially, but I think one of the things that has become clear with the president is that loyalty is really number one. And if you get crossways in any way, right, that can end up not working out well for you. But he was also very careful to choose people that were quite loyal to him and his agenda. And I think that you're going to see that with the new incoming DHS leader, with Senator Mullins. He is a very, very ardent Trump supporter, and I think he'll just continue that in his new role.
What do we know about him?
So he actually has been in the Senate since 2022. He had been serving in the House of Representatives, but there was a special election, and he won that one. He is an MMA fighter. He's a businessman in Oklahoma. He's very conservative, and he, like I said, is a strong supporter of Donald Trump and his agenda.
Okay, so take us back just a step for a second here. What was some of the controversy that led up to the removal of Kristi Noem?
Well, there's several things. And of course, we know in Minnesota, there were 2 American citizens who were shot and killed. And before they even had identified the first victim, Kristi Noem was out calling her a domestic terrorist. They didn't know anything about her, right? And were calling her a domestic terrorist. I think that started it. But we also saw some recent controversy about her giving testimony under oath that President Trump had approved a $220 million ad campaign with Kristi Noem's face. President Trump said, "I did not say that." And that I think is one big point of contention as well. But this has been building over at least the last couple of weeks. President Trump has been going around to people in D.C. saying, well, who do you think I could replace her with?
And I mean, it sounds like they're ending on good terms, though. Is that surprising?
I mean, I think you're not going to see discontent played out in the public square necessarily. I do think it's interesting that she has been moved to a position in an organization that doesn't even exist yet. So for me, my first question is, well, is that actually a real role, or are they just making up a role for her to maybe sideline her without completely getting her out of the public eye?
Yeah, I actually was just about to ask you that. I've never heard of this organization position before. What is this going to be?
Because it doesn't exist. I don't know. Nobody knows. It doesn't exist. So the president indicated the organization would be created this weekend. So we don't know.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us on Midday. That was Dr. Holly Richardson, political insider and co-host of Inside Sources. Midday continues in just 60 seconds.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let him know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Because when you talk, they hear you.
Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
The United States House of Representatives set to vote today on whether or not they want to rein in the president on his ability to continue the conflict in Iran. It comes after a similar vote failed yesterday in the U.S. Senate. ABC's Jonathan Karl says all predictions point toward the vote failing in the House as well.
I mean, you saw Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, say, look, this is not a war.
We're not at war right now. We're 4 days in to a very specific
clear mission, an Operation Epic Fury.
And then, of course, not that long later, you heard Donald Trump.
And we're doing very well on the war front, to put it mildly, I would say.
Look, we've seen this over and over again in previous conflicts where Congress simply has not been able to assert itself on this. And frankly, it happens almost exactly the same way. The executive branch goes forward, the president orders a military action somewhere, and members of Congress from the opposite party scream about war powers and try to vote, to force some kind of an action, and it doesn't go anywhere. We saw the vote in the Senate yesterday.
Americans overwhelmingly oppose war with Iran, and Senate Republicans have a duty to stand up for Americans by forcing Donald Trump to reverse course.
It was essentially party lines. I mean, Rand Paul crossed party lines to assert the war powers resolution and Congress's role in this. And then John Fetterman on the Democratic side crossed party lines to vote against it.
Democrats say that even if the votes fail, they will have gotten lawmakers on the record. Leaders could be looking to that to help influence the midterm elections, but only time will tell if it makes any difference. Among some of the more interesting parts of this conflict thus far is that the U.S. Navy submarine sank an Iranian warship, the first time this has happened since World War II. ABC's Louis Martinez has more on the firepower the United States military forces are using in this conflict.
Well, they're using everything in the arsenal right now, and this one we've never expected to see. It's the first U.S. submarine to sink a warship since the end of World War II.
Really?
We're talking 80 years ago was the last time we saw this happen, and the target was one of Iran's newest warships.
An American submarine sunk an Iranian warship that thought it was safe in international waters. Instead, it was sunk by a torpedo. Quiet death.
It was off the coast in international waters, off the coast of Sri Lanka, when it was targeted. And the most amazing thing was to see that video of the periscope. We've always seen in movies the captain looking through a periscope, and and they push it up, and you see the lines. But the modern periscope is actually a TV screen. And that's kind of what we saw. You saw the images of that target on the screen, and then you saw the explosion. What we found out later, though, is that there were 180 people aboard that warship, and that the Sri Lankan Coast Guard moved in, carried out search and rescue.
We found people floating on the floating in the water and rescued them. And
they found out about 32 people in the water, and that there were dozens more who were found deceased in that water. So a reminder that this is not just looking through a periscope, that this is a matter of life and death when you carry out a war situation like this.
In addition to attacks on water, attacks from the air continue this hour as well.
So the targets remain the same, and what we did hear from Secretary Hegseth was that the United States and Israel are super close to getting what they call air superiority over Iran.
Iranian leaders looking up and seeing only U.S. and Israeli air power every minute of every day until we decide it's over.
Now, what does that mean? That means that at any point they will be able to fly freely over the entire country without any concern of being targeted by air defense systems that could launch missiles at them, or potentially by the Iranian Air Force, which would launch fighters to track them down. And so what they're doing is they're targeting all the ballistic missiles. They're targeting those air defense systems. They're targeting Iran's planes.
More and larger waves are coming. We are just getting started. We are accelerating, not decelerating.
They're continuing to do so at a really impressive rate. We heard some numbers that indicate that just the scope of what we're talking about. When we talk about shock and awe, that's a reference to the opening night, the opening salvo of the ground invasion back in 2003 inside of Iraq. They're telling us that the numbers are almost twice or three times as big as what we saw in that opening salvo.
Wow.
It's just really a measure of how much firepower is being used by both the United States and Israel in carrying out this mission. But at the same time, it indicates that there's going to be a shift, because you heard some pretty strong language from Hegseth.
They are toast, and they know it. Or at least, soon enough, they will know it.
What's he talking about? Well, he's essentially saying that once air superiority is gained, the The United States is going to continue with its assault, and they're going to use new weapons. What kind of new weapons? They're going to use bombs instead of missiles. So what is that all about? Well, for now, what they've been doing is that they've been using what are called standoff missiles. This means that you fire a missile from an aircraft at a very large distance so that you don't get targeted by any air defense systems. And those missiles are so precise that they can hit their targets from far away. With air superiority, you can now fly at will, and that means you switch over to bombs and you can get closer to your target and you can drop many more of them than just one missile.
That's ABC's Louis Martinez reporting. As the fighting continues, the Pentagon has now identified all 6 of the military service members killed in Kuwait following an attack from Iran. News Nation's Ryan Bass has more on these fallen soldiers.
The Pentagon has now identified the last 2 soldiers believed to be killed in this attack. I want to run you through those fallen heroes that we do know about. 45-year-old Major Jeffrey O'Brien from Iowa, 54-year-old Chief Warrant Officer Robert Morzan from Sacramento. They were also killed in the strike. In all, 6 Americans have been killed since Saturday in this operation. Among them, 20-year-old college sophomore Sergeant Declan Cody from Iowa, 39-year-old Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore from Minnesota, who was just days away from returning home, 35-year-old Captain Cody Cork of Winter Haven, Florida, just about an hour and a half from where we are here in Tampa, whose family says he dreamed of military service since childhood, and 42-year-old Sergeant First Class Noah Tjens from Nebraska, who leaves behind a 12-year-old son. The Pentagon says at least 18 other U.S. service members were seriously injured as well. Now, the White House telling News Nation that President Trump plans to speak with the families of those fallen and also will attend the dignified transfers when they do arrive back here in the U.S.
Bass says one thing to watch as the fighting continues is CENTCOM, a.k.a. Central Command. He's outside that center in Florida where there could be signs that leaders are starting to get a little stretched thin.
Think of this as the brain of the entire operation here. Every strike order, every logistics decision, truly every battlefield update for Operation Epic Fury originates out of MacDill Air Force Base here in Tampa, just behind me. That is the home, as you mentioned, of U.S. Central Command. Now, since this war started on Saturday, we have seen 2,000 U.S. strikes on Iranian targets. That is the update from U.S. Central Command. And you can see them playing out practically in real time with CENTCOM posting videos online right after they happen. It's a rare inside look at an active war as it unfolds. Now, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is going to be here today for operational updates, a sign of just how central CENTCOM has become to this fight. But some say that the command is being stretched thin. Politico reports that CENTCOM is asking the Pentagon to send more intelligence officers to its Tampa HQ to support Operation Epic Fury for at least 100 days and possibly into the fall.
And right now we have more assets in the region than we've ever had since the 2003 invasion of Iraq. So this is a very heavy lift, is a very big focus for CENTCOM.
And multiple outlets are reporting that those 6 soldiers who were killed in a drone strike in Kuwait Sunday were working in a makeshift office space without a warning system to alert them that an incoming attack was on the way.
News Nation's Ryan Bass reporting from Tampa there. Coming up next, movement and exercise are good for the body. We all know that. But one sport in particular appears to have the best benefits. Details after the break. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Michelle, what's going on out there?
Pretty quiet, Heather. We do have a disabled vehicle, though. This is southbound I-15 at the off-ramp to take the Timpanogos exit. In Lehigh, it is off to the right. And we're starting to see a little bit of slowing just as you came to me, northbound I-15 in the South Salt Lake area. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hi, this is Doug Wright. You know I love to talk about shopping at NPS, a nice place to save. And it's fun to talk about all the treasures and the unique things that are out there in the store, but I want to focus on the groceries. When we take our grandkids in there, we love to go into the grocery section because they see candies and fun items and treats that, honestly, some of them they've never seen before. But for those of us who are concerned about the inflation right now and the cost of feeding our families, NPS, boy, they can really save you money. As you know, throughout the store, 20 to 70% off everything every single day. But boy, they have additional savings that are almost unbelievable. So whether you're shopping for the absolute basics, or you're looking for fun things for the grandkids or something for an upcoming party, NPS can really save you money. There are 4 locations, the 2 stores in Salt Lake, 1 in Layton, 1 in Orem. That's NPS.
Love freebies? Then don't miss your chance to win big this week at KSL. Head to ksl.com/win and enter for your shot at tickets to Titanic the Exhibition, featuring recreations of the ship that brought the legendary voyage to life. Plus, win tickets to the Home and Garden Show, where you'll find inspiration for every room, and win a night out at Utah Opera's production of The Elixir of Love, a romantic comedy filled with music you'll be humming all night long. It's fast. It's free, and you could be this week's lucky winner. Don't wait. Visit ksl.com/win now and enter to win.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. Like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life.
I wanted you to know, from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now, that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new. It's inherited. A ring from a grandmother. A necklace tucked away in a drawer. Pieces full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jeweler specializes in reimagining family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Duke's on-site jewelers and designers work with you one-on-one to honor the original story while creating something fresh, modern, and uniquely yours. From resetting diamonds into new engagement rings, to transforming multiple heirloom pieces into one stunning design. Every project is crafted with care, precision, and intention. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers on Main Street in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com. Duke's Jewelers, where old stories become new treasures. dukesjewelers.com.
This is Midday. I'm Heather Peterson, in for Maria Shilaos. Movement and exercise are essential for a healthy life. But there's one sport that has an advantage when it comes to boosting longevity. News Nation's Dinah Baer explains.
It's a series of like 4-yard dashes. It's a series of sprints and then recover. Sprint and then recover.
That's one reason tennis tops other sports.
Go get it.
those moments of explosiveness, fuel heart rate variability, or HRV, a metric doctors say is a good predictor of health status and, ultimately, longevity.
If you just jog, for example, and you're in zone 2, is what we call that zone where you're not stretching your heart too much, certainly that is great for endurance, but not that great for with other people, right? And you have the explosiveness that, for example, if you just jog, or if you just swim, or if you just bike, you don't have that.
The same cognitive and cardio principles apply to pickleball as well. Ever wonder what Fido, Milo, or Pluto were thinking? Well, soon there will be a device for that. At the Mobile World Congress underway in Barcelona, a company based out of Singapore unveiled its new smartphone for pets. The pet phone from uCloudlink actually enables two-way calls between pets and owners. Basically, owners use an app to call their pets, or thanks to a device on the collar, dogs can be trained to turn or jump a certain way to trigger a call to their owner. CEO and founder Jeff Chen says connection is fundamental for every family member.
If the people go out, go to work, go to travel, how they communication with their pet? If they have a phone with their pet, now they can make a call.
Turns out you can do just about anything with technology.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
3 women killed in Wayne County. A 22-year-old man now in custody. Locals in the area saying this kind of thing wrecks their close-knit communities.
It's devastating to this county, to these communities. I've never experienced that.
Authorities saying they used license plate reader technology to find the suspect.
So they're looking very specifically for this car. And so in that particular circumstance, it absolutely works well.
The time is 2 o'clock on Thursday, March 5th. It's midday. I'm Heather Peterson, filling in today for Maria Shilaos. Coming up, multiple murders in rural Utah. We have more in-depth coverage on the investigation into these deadly incidents. Also this hour, measles continues to spread in Utah, and state leaders addressed the growth just a short time ago. We'll get an update coming up shortly. But first, our top stories. We're learning more about the 3 women who were found dead in Wayne County, as well as the man accused of killing them. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
Police have identified the suspect as Ivan Miller, a 22-year-old man from Iowa. Miller is accused of killing an elderly woman at a home in Lyman, then driving her car to a trailhead near Torrey before killing 2 more women there.
We have nothing to suggest that they were targeted specifically. And again, we have nothing to suggest that they had any relationship, and he has no connections to this area.
Roden says Miller then took one of the other victims' cars and drove it all the way to Pasoga Springs, a small town in southern Colorado, where local police took him into custody. And officers say they found a handgun and a large knife when they arrested him. And all the while, investigators are still trying to figure out the motive for these killings and what Miller was even doing in Utah in the first place.
It's going to be something that definitely shakes the community for a little while, and we want, as law enforcement, want to help them get back to normal as much as we possibly can, but it's something that will definitely take them a little bit to recover from.
Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
We'll have more on the case in just a few minutes. Our top national story from ABC News. President Trump's firing of Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem follows several days of frustration from the Oval Office. ABC's Rachel Scott explains.
Told by multiple sources that President Trump was on the phone calling Republicans, calling allies, asking whether or not he should fire Secretary Kristi Noem. He was pointing out that he was clearly unhappy with that answer that she gave Senator Kennedy during these heated briefings and hearings on Capitol Hill just yesterday.
President Trump said Noem will be replaced at the end of the month by Oklahoma Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin. Noem's new title will be Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas, part of a new security initiative. Your money at this moment, the Dow is down 785 points, which is actually a slight improvement from earlier. It's the S&P is down 38 and the NASDAQ is down 58 points. Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Michelle Rowe.
They're still working on this disabled semi-tractor trailer. This is southbound I-15 at the off-ramp at Timpanogos Highway. It is on the right. They have another vehicle pulling up to tow that away. And then we're also experiencing some winter conditions up Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon with travel restrictions. Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
A high of 43 today with scattered rain and snow showers. Tomorrow, more mid-40s and snow likely. Then we start to get a little warmer. 49 Saturday, 57 Sunday, and 65 on Monday. Right now, it's 39 and a couple showers in the vicinity from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Utah's largest sportsman's expo for the entire family is back, March 12th through 15th at Mountain America Expo Center. Discover your next adventure, buy the latest gear, book a trip, learn tips at dozens of free seminars at the Adventure Theater, Dog Arena, and new Campfire Theater. Bring your kids to the Giant Youth Fair. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, March 12th through 15th at Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy. Youth under 16 enter free. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Thanks for tuning in to Midday. I'm Heather Peterson, sitting in today for Maria Shilaos. A 22-year-old man is now in custody, accused of killing 3 women in rural Wayne County down in south central Utah. Multiple murders in rural Utah. We have special coverage on Midday. The Utah Highway Patrol says right now they're trying to establish the travel patterns of Ivan Miller, the man they say killed the women and then fled to Colorado. License plate readers played an important part in helping police find the missing white Subaru, believed to have been stolen by the suspect in that triple murder. We wanted to know how that works. So KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce started working the phones. And Becky, what did you learn about it?
Yeah, this is pretty fascinating. Apparently, there are cameras that require specific information but can be actually pretty accurate. So in this case, you feed the information into the technology. You've got the license plate number. You've got a description of the car, the year, the model, all of that good stuff. And then these cameras can track that as it progresses along certain roadways where they're stationed. So I spoke with the former police chief for Salt Lake City, Chris Burbank, earlier today about how prevalent this tech is.
When they first started, they were very specific to large cities and really focused on stolen vehicles was kind of where they made their bread and butter, right? You drive down the street and you'd identify, oh, that car, that license plate is stolen, right? And that's how you would identify things. Or in some cases, parking issues and things like, but that's where the nexus was. But it has now become the basis for stopping vehicles for a whole bunch of different reasons. And some of those are good, some of those might be problematic. But it's a tool that more and more police agencies, in fact, I would say more have license plate readers than not now.
Yeah, and as we know, they called in so many different departments to help with this. Multiple departments with this technology was also part of that deal.
So are these cameras mounted on the roadway somewhere, or where are they?
They're actually on the police vehicles, which is where some of that comes in. You know, they fanned out however many vehicles they did across so many different parts of a vast region, and they're in many, many cruisers, and the specifics really helped narrow down the search.
In this case, it sounds like they knew the license plate number, knew the make and model of the vehicle, right, because it belonged to one of the victims. So they're looking very specifically for this car. And so in that particular circumstance, it absolutely works well, right? There's just no question whatsoever it's going to identify that vehicle or those plate numbers.
In this case, that was actually pretty important. If you know anything at all about the area where Wayne County is, it's Capitol Reef National Park. It's near Fish Lake National Forest. There's a lot of fishing and hunting and hiking and biking and all of those things. There are a lot of white Subarus, so knowing the specific year and the license plate number was pretty important.
Yeah. Are there any downsides to the technology, though?
Yeah, you heard Burbank hint at that a little bit in his first answer to me, and it's definitely a discussion that he's recommending we should have at some point as a society. Basically, there's concern that police could use that technology to proactively profile people rather than reactively use it to solve a crime, as they did in this situation. But there's that argument to be made that when the tech is used responsibly, maybe it saves lives.
At some point, we in society need to start looking at these, right? What are the tools? What is the effectiveness of the tools? And then what are the unintended consequences that, like I said before, might be negative? So it's worth a look in the future at this. But right now, I think we're very thankful that this technology prevented maybe another life from being lost.
And at a minimum, it also potentially shortened this manhunt. The area, again, was a vast, vast area. Coupled with the internal technology in the Subaru, that's a huge weapon in the arsenal for police.
Absolutely. All right, KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce with me there on how license plate readers were instrumental in the arrest of a man suspected in 3 Wayne County murders. Police say they also used the Subaru's internal technology to help keep tabs on its movement. Investigators are working to figure out just what happened and why that man killed 3 women in southern Utah, allegedly. As the investigation plays out, I spoke with former FBI agent Greg Rogers to get his take on how this kind of investigation unfolds.
Well, there's a whole lot to do with this case. It is there's going to be a perception that this young man is a serial killer. It's not uncommon. Like Israel Keys, it's not uncommon for serial killers to travel. It makes them more difficult to catch if they're going to places where they're not known. But there's a lot that has to be determined in this case. For instance, it hasn't been released what types of weapons he used in these homicides, but he was caught with a knife and a handgun, so comparisons will be made between those weapons and whatever injuries there were to the victims. Also, one thing that's very interesting to me is if he stole one of the victims' cars, which he did, that's what he was captured in after driving that to Colorado, how did he get to Utah? So we've got to make some determinations about how he was traveling in the first place. There's a whole lot of work that needs to be done on this case quickly. And of course, we got to determine whether he was acting alone.
Yeah, I anticipate they're going to be looking a lot into his background that we don't really know a lot about yet.
Right. No, of course. And that's they're also going to be trying to determine what his route of travel was. And we've got to make sure that there weren't, there other homicides while he was on the road. There's no telling how long he's been on the road from Iowa. If he drove straight to Utah or if he took a circuitous route and went to other states. So they're going to be doing a whole lot of work to determine what that route of travel was and to determine if there's any other homicides in those areas.
When something like this happens, what's the manhunt radius typically look like for an investigation like this?
Oh, it's massive. Hopefully he has had a cell phone with him, and that will assist greatly in being able to determine his route of travel. All of his associates, friends, and family are going to be getting interviewed to see if they knew where he was traveling, if he had any contact with them. There's going to be a whole lot of effort put into this case right now, and hopefully Wayne County asks for the FBI's assistance, because we would happily jump into that and help with, because this is going to be a big multi-state investigation.
Greg Rogers is a former FBI agent. Stay with us. We'll be back for more in just 60 seconds.
If you owe back